Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. We have breaking news in Gus Lamont's case. This little guy right here, remember, from Australia? Okay, I'm going to give you a refresher, then I'm going to give you an update. They have a suspect within the home of Gus. So this is all big, huge news. That they're not naming the suspect, but they're saying the suspect has been identified. So who was all in the home? Now, one thing they did say on little Gus is that his parents are not the suspects. But they did not say the grandparents weren't. And remember, in little Gus's case, right here, little Gus, his grandpa transitioned into another grandma. Okay, so this gets bizarre. Now, in this case, he is so little, and he was just said to be playing outside. She left him, Josie, the grandmother. Okay, I know there's two. There's Shannon and Josie. So Josie was the grandma, so grandma, papa, mama, that was with the mother allegedly out at the sheep ranch part, the sheep station part, where Shannon was the grandma that's always been a grandma, was watching little Gus. So I've got some things to go over. Let's say hello to a few people. I'm going to have to fix this because I can't see chat hardly at all. I've got it like so tiny. So just give me a second. Let's say hello to our replay crew. You guys are awesome. Again, I have restocked the replay lounge with all your favorite snacks and all your favorite drinks. So just settle in and don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hype me up. Right? You guys have been incredible, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We are so close to 40,000. Now, I also want to say hello and thank you for joining me today on my live audience. I greatly appreciate you as well. And yes, we could be covering the breaking news on Nancy Guthrie, which I will do tomorrow. But here's how we are. I'm pulling closer because this is me and you. Our channel is going to cover the little kids first. I know that there are a lot of channels out there that are wonderful that will update you on Nancy Guthrie. I know there's a $50,000 reward by the FBI. I am aware that Savannah Guthrie and her sister and her brother have made a plea, which appeared to be toward hostage situation, like we're ready to talk to the kidnapper. So that'll be all there for me to talk with you tomorrow. I am keeping Nancy Guthrie in my prayers, absolutely. But this little boy is not going to get the coverage that he deserves. We're not here for clicks and views. When we start a case, we stay with it. And so when there are updates, we're going to bring it, right? Let me get chat bigger. Let's see if I do it this way. Just give me a technical second here. I've got to enlarge it, or I won't even be able to see what my beautiful live audience is saying. I've got it like I have no idea why, but it is really tiny. I'll have to mute right away. A technical... Okay, we're on it. Let me just zoom it up. Yeah, I can read it a little better. There, I can really read it. We're going with it. All right. Claire, 12 months, you get the goat. Now, you guys, mute or take your headphones off. I'm about to give the goat to our beautiful Claire Lindstad for being a member for a full year as a private eye. You are no longer a rookie. Are you a captain? Is that what level you are? You're doing great. Thank you for 12 months of support, a full year. I so appreciate you, Claire. So you guys, with little Gus, This is just crazy. Let me get over and just kind of give you a brief update before I get into the information with the presser and what has been said. Is it your birthday, Claire? Is it your birthday? Wow, double birthday week for me. Oh, wow. Is it you or do you have children? What do you mean double birthday week? Do you have twins? Are you happy double birthday? I'm not saying that I know what that means, but absolutely happy birthday to you. Aw, thank you, Claire. Thank you. Yesterday. Okay, well, happy belated one-day birthday. Do you remember who little Gus is? So, Mama D, I made a lot of different videos about little Gus. And I did pull some cards too. And y'all, it was disturbing. All right? It was one of the few cases where I actually pick up a form of perverse wickedness in the cards. And so now that they are saying that the suspect lived within the home of little Gus, let's go back and remember some of the things that took place. So when Gus first went missing, in Australia, everybody did everything they could, like everything you can imagine, from drones to draining the reservoirs, I mean, it was a full-blown, like, national search for this kid. A couple reporters decided to go up to the house where Gus lives and knock on the door to ask some questions. Do you remember that? Do you remember how that went? So remember when I said there's a grandma, papa, mama? All right. This is what he did. He came out brandishing a pew-pew, saying he was shooting at a snake, and yelling at the interviewers, the journalists. Let me get it over here. I'll put the lotion on while we watch. They're coming up to the door, right? Out. You're trespassing. Get out. Shut your face and get out.
We'll have the police on you because you've been warned not to come here. Get out! Get out!
Remember that? Well, let's go ahead and give you a little bit of backstory
have
here.
just announced that the search for Gus is going to resume again tomorrow on...
This is a backstory, meaning this is not current. This was from the Daily Mail when Gus just went missing. So next, I'll give you the update. So let's get the backstory.
Friday. They are intending to drain the dam on the property.
What
This
a
is a new
Chalmers'
development.
rage. Hi,
It is
Rach,
not
love.
known why this has now come about, but the search will resume again tomorrow. So I'm just driving up to Gus Lamont's property now. It's a small cottage in Belleley North. This property is about 2 hours away from the homestead where little Gus Lamont was last seen. It's obviously a really sad, traumatic situation that's happened here. It's always hard to cover these kinds of stories. You know, as a mum myself, my heart really does go out to the family in these situations.
So she's the reporter that was being yelled at. Carla says, Grandpa dressed like he was going to church for the search. Yeah, I've got that. This was my old thumbnail of one of the videos I did on little Gus. Look at the way she's dressed to go out and search for her grandson. But she's really a he. She's also the one yelling, get out, get out. Same in the one. So that's Josie. Now, if you look at Shannon, she's the grandma here featured, and she's the one that was watching Gus. Things that make you go, what? Claire says, I'm speculating that granddaddy, poor little boy. I'm suspecting the grandmama. I'm suspecting Shannon, because she was home alone with this child. But it could be the other grandparent. Or is it not either grandparent? Is there somebody else living on the property that we don't know about? So, yeah, she's not impressed at all. You're a kitty cat. Hey, Miss Shell, my belle. Welcome back, lovely. Hey, Mama D, thanks for giving us an update on Gus Lamont. I keep checking, and there's been nothing. It is like breaking news. And like I said, we stay with cases. At any time that we dig into a case, we're going to return to it when there's information to share. And unfortunately, there are so many missing children cases to cover. And I know it's heartbreaking when, like, I've been doing a Gus Lamont, video and live and over and over and over. And then all of a sudden I stop because there's no new info. And then I move on to like Jack and Lily's case or Thomas Medlin, which we have a slight update on that. Just simply something that I'll cover at a later date, but he has not been found. Because the people think I've left the case, but that is not the case. We are staying with it. We are staying with it. Yes, Nikki, yes, something's weird here. Your car? You mean your cat? All right, you guys, let's get into the update now. Well, let me finish this real quick. Yeah, we're going to finish this because pay close attention to the housing, pay close attention to those in the pictures, because now we know that somebody living with Gus at the time is the suspect. And they didn't say on the ground, they said living with.
To drain the dam on the property. This is a new development. It is not known why this has now come about, but the search will resume again tomorrow. So I'm just driving up to Josh Lamont's property now. It's a small cottage.
So this is the father. His name is Joshua Lamont, and Jessica is the mother, and neither are suspects. Neither are suspects. And Joshua didn't even know his son went missing. They didn't even tell him. It was hours before he was even notified, and I think he found out, correct me if I'm wrong, but he found out through social media. I can't even imagine.
In Belaley North. This property is about 2 hours away from the homestead where the...
Right, Jennifer, if Gus was with Shannon and he went missing, Presser said it was someone within the house, right? Yep. Yep.
Gus Lamont was last seen. It's obviously a really sad, traumatic situation that's happened here. It's always hard to cover these kinds of stories.
Allison said she's
as
in
a
the
mum
typo
myself. My heart really does go out to the family in these situations. My name is Jonica Bray and I'm a senior reporter for...
Not that I'm aware of. So Michelle, my belle, says, so they are now telling us a guy living on the farm that's now a suspect. That is not what I've heard. They have not mentioned another person. They actually are talking about a family member being a suspect. We'll do the presser, and then we'll have more to go on. Please hit like, and please hit like. I'm trying to read what Rach is saying, and it's so big on my screen now. Please hit like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and tap notification. Never miss a Mama D upload or a live again. Go on, you know you want to. It's free. Thank you. Thank you, Rach, with sprinkles on top. So good to have everybody back. Please rest when needed, Rach. Sarah, hello. How are you, lovely?
The Daily Mail. I have been covering the Gus Lamont missing case story since it unfolded over a month ago, and I have travelled here today deep into the South Australian outback to speak to the Lamont family and hear their side of the story. However, here I am at the cottage that Joshua Lamont has been renovating, and Josh Lamont is nowhere to be found. I've spoken to members of the local community and the neighbours who tell me that Josh hasn't been back to the property since his young son went missing. The property remains basically abandoned.
So after that, Joshua and Jessica just disappeared, it seemed. Like nobody heard anything from any of these people all these months. Like it was just crickets. Well, now you guys, listen to this. Now, I did not speed this up. This is where I had to get the presser from somebody that had sped it up a little bit. So bear with me. And I just saying, it's hard to hear.
Opportunity for anybody to abduct Gus is extremely low, with what I've just explained about the remoteness of the property and with the work that Task Force Horizon investigators have done around.
So what he just said was that that a stranger abducted Gus is absolutely not even on the table. It's so remote.
People in the area at the time. So it leaves us with the other part of the investigation, and that is investigating whether people known to Gus were
Investigating people known to Gus is the other half.
involved in his disappearance.
And involved in the
So from
disappearance.
the time that Gus went missing, the family members have been cooperating with police and providing information that has assisted with establishing the movements of Gus around the time that he went missing.
So in the beginning, the family were all cooperating and providing whatever that the police asked for in the investigation of little missing Gus.
A detailed review of all that information has been conducted by Task Force Horizon members. As a result of that, we've identified a number of inconsistencies and discrepancies.
So out of reviewing all the information gathered from those in the family, a number of indiscrepancies and things that don't work in the case for them, in the timeline I would assume, have been noted.
With that information as it relates to timelines and the versions of events provided to us by the family members. As a result of these inconsistencies and investigations into them, a person who resides at Oak Park Station has withdrawn their support for the police and is no longer cooperating with us.
So as a result, someone that resides at the property has withdrawn their cooperation, and as a result,
On the 14th and 15th of January this year, Task Force Horizon investigators attended at Oak Park Station and executed a search warrant.
so on the 14th and 15th of January, they executed a search warrant. And I'm repeating this because it's recorded so double timed and it's very hard to hear. So, so January 14th and 15th, they ascended onto the property with search warrants.
A further comprehensive forensic search was conducted of the Oak Park Station homestead. And a number of items were seized, including a vehicle, a motorcycle, and some electronic.
Okay. Number of vehicles were seized, including a motorcycle. Okay, let's hear it again. A motorcycle. All right, so they seized property.
No longer cooperating with us.
Listen again.
On the 14th and 15th of January this year, Task Force Horizon investigators attended at Oak Park Station and executed a search warrant. A further comprehensive forensic search was conducted of the Oak Park Station homestead, and a number of items were seized, including a vehicle, a motorcycle, and some electronic devices.
A vehicle, a motorcycle, and some electronic devices were all seized
All of these items are now subject to forensic testing.
and are being forensically tested.
The person who has withdrawn their cooperation is now considered a suspect in the disappearance of Gus.
What?
The person who has withdrawn their cooperation is now considered a suspect.
I still can't pick that up. What's he saying, y'all?
motorcycle, and some electronic devices. All of these items are now subject to forensic testing. The person who has withdrawn their cooperation is now considered a suspect in the disappearance of Gus. I do want to stress, however, that Gus's parents are not suspects in his disappearance.
So, okay. So it was Michelle Walks that I got the recording from. So you guys, let's jump over to here. And thank you, Michelle Walks. Yeah. We got suspects, you guys. So let's read the article. It'll be a little easier to understand. Are now considered suspects. Correct. I don't remember, Nikki UK. Did I talk about a motorcycle? I may have. We're going to pull cards for those that want to join me. Okay, Jennifer Swain says, so correct me if I'm wrong, living in the house was Gus's mom, and Gus's grandparents. Correct? 3 adults. That's all we know of. And if Josie, the grandpa, and Jessica, the mother, are out at the sheep station, that only leaves Shannon at the house. Michelle Mybell says the person who has withdrawn their cooperation is the suspect, so that would be either Shannon or Josie. Now, let's talk about this real quick before we get into this Guardian news release, all right? Jessica, the mother, is not a suspect. Not at all. So she would have reported if Josie wasn't with her where they say they are. So it almost gives, Jessica is then giving Josie an alibi, which means the only one out of the 3 adults that we're aware of that are at the home that doesn't have an alibi is Shannon. Okay? I'm not saying she did it. I'm not saying she's a suspect. But I'm saying she's sus. South Australia. Suspect identified in disappearance of 4-year-old Gus Lamont in Outback, South Australia. I need some lip balm to read this. My lips are so dry in this heat. Gus was last seen playing outside his home on a family sheep station in September, with his disappearance now declared by major crime to be foul play. Right? Y'all, I can just feel it in my heart that this baby did not have what he needed. I can just feel it. Someone who lived with 4-year-old Gus Lamont is now considered a suspect in the disappearance, South Australia police said on Thursday, as they declared the case a major crime. Gus disappeared from his family Outback home more than 4 months ago, sparking what SA police called one of the largest, most intensive, and most protracted searches they had ever undertaken. Mounted police drivers, defense and emergency service personnel, drones, and trackers searched the 60,000-hectare Oak Park station near Yunta, which is about 300 kilometers inland of Adelaide. Let me grab a drink. So you can see Port Augusta, you can see Yunta, and you can see Adelaide down here, Adelaide. So we have the Oak Park station right there at the red dot. Gives you an idea of the mapping. Deputy Superintendent, I think that's what that means, Darren Felk, the officer in charge of major crimes, said police had effectively ruled out Gus wandering off and Gus being abducted. He said they were now investigating someone inside the household, but stressed the suspect wasn't one of the parents. I think we can do the math, right? Police had, quote, identified a number of inconsistencies and discrepancies in the information that the family members had shared, according to Felke. As a result, these inconsistencies in investigations into them, a person who resides at Oak Park Station has withdrawn their support for the police and is no longer cooperating with us, he said. The person who has withdrawn their cooperation is now considered a suspect in the disappearance of little Gus. I do want to stress, however, that Gus's parents are not suspects in the disappearance. Quote, you appreciate at the time I cannot make any further comment about the suspect given that this is now a criminal investigation and a declared major crime. What can I say, however, is that we'll continue to thoroughly and meticulously investigate the disappearance of Gus until we get an outcome. The family was shocked at this development, he said. Gus, who a family friend described as shy but adventurous, was playing outside the family sheep station at 5 p.m. on September 27th. How does that family friend know? How would a family friend know? Because somebody told them? Or did they see him? The blonde, curly-haired boy was wearing a blue t-shirt with a yellow minion on the front, a gray sun hat, light gray long pants, and boots. When his grandmother, and that would be Shannon, went to call him in half an hour later, he was gone. Just like Summer Wells. The police were told. Police executed a search warrant at the property on the 14th and 15th of January and seized a vehicle, a motorbike, and electronic device. On Thursday, police described the challenges of an investigation outside the metropolitan areas where CCTV, traffic cameras, and witnesses can help. They also revealed extensive details of the search to explain why they hadn't ruled Gus wandering off being abducted. 8 separate ground searches over more than 20 days covered 95 square kilometers around the property, Felk explained. The community should take comfort that no stone is being left unturned in this investigation, Felk said. Polaire used infrared thermal imaging across a 12-kilometer radius around the property. Drones covered the homestead, the dams, and nearby travel routes, and aircraft with highly specialized camera equipment covered 706 square kilometers. Its imagery was processed using AI software and reviewed by Task Force Horizon investigators and was so detailed that they could distinguish between a sheep and a goat and a kangaroo and a human. Despite these extraordinary efforts, all of the combined searches have found no evidence, physical or otherwise, to suggest that Gus has wandered off, Felk said. A second investigation looked at the possibility Gus had been abducted by an unknown person. Felk said that they had identified neighbors, people working at the station and nearby, and those traveling in the area. 1 second, please. It's so dry, y'all. Reporters to Crime Stoppers and other information unearthed no evidence to suggest that Gus was abducted from the property, and the remoteness of the situation meant that, quote, opportunity for anyone to abduct Gus is extremely low, he said. Quote, so it leaves us the other part of the investigation, and that's investigating whether people known to Gus were involved in his disappearance. We will continue to thoroughly and meticulously investigate the disappearance of Gus until we get an outcome. We're all focused and determined to locate Gus and return him to his parents. Nothing is off the table as we work towards the outcome. Anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-333-000. Again, 1-800-333-000. All right, you guys, so little Gus. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Think I had stomach bug for 3 days. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you're feeling better. Carrie Jakeman says, I still say it's the he, she. Jennifer, well, if the parents aren't suspects, the only others are the grandparents, and Shannon was left with Gus on that day. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. If Josie, the grandma, wasn't where she said he was, which is with the mother, then the mother, not being a suspect, would have told. And they're like, no, grandma wasn't with me. Grandpa mama was somewhere else. But that's not it. Josie and Grandpa Ma were together, and they were at 10 miles away. And the dad's not a suspect, and he was hours away, and he wouldn't even had access to the child, really. So we're definitely going to have to dig into this. I know, Jennifer, he just got gone. Kids don't just get gone. Do you guys like my 1985 high school hairdo? That's what happens when you have to, wear a hat all day. Like, I had to get up early this morning. I had a whole bunch of errands to run, from pharmacies to taking people to work and all kinds of stuff, and it's cold out. So I threw my hat on, and I got my hat off today, and I was like, wow, I look like, my hair looks like 1985 going back to school. It is what it is. Rach says, please don't forget to show Mama D your love and appreciation by smashing that like button. Thank you muchly, with sprinkles on top. Thank you, Rach. Miss you so much. Michelle My Bell says, but unless Josie left herding sheep with Gus's mom, wouldn't that have even been possible? Maybe she's got some unaccounted time. Maybe she was with Jessica the mother. The grandpa ma was with Jessica the mother, but then she said she had to go down here at the bottom of the hill and couldn't be seen. I mean, there's that, right? I don't know. Michelle says, we know there was a big inheritance thing going on and dynamics with Josie. Yes, we know nothing of Shannon. There was a separation going on with mom and dad because of Josie. They didn't want the baby. He didn't want the baby there. He did not like the circumstance that his son was in. And Joseph made that clear. And he was fixing up. He was taking every minute for the last 2 years to repair a home so that it would be ready for Jessica to move in with Gus and the baby. Yes, there's a baby too. You were admiring it earlier, Allison? From Australia, lovely. True Crimes Shining Light. Hello, lovely. This precious baby is Gus Lamont, right over here. I couldn't remember where on my screen, right? Right over here. And Gus Lamont was only 4, and he was shy and adventurous, is what they're saying. And he had the most beautiful, gorgeous hair I've ever seen on a child since Chelsea Rose, my little Chelsea that passed away. Carrie Jakeman says, what's not saying he didn't leave mom for a while on the motorbike? Right? Why is the motorcycle in evidence? Are you right? Did Grandpa or Grandpa do like you're saying, Carrie, and be like, hey, I'm going to go down here a few miles and I'm going to use my motorcycle here. And I got some stuff set in fence. It's going to take me a couple hours. I'll be back shortly. That's interesting. Hey, Mama D, says True Crime Shining Light. Taking a break from my schoolwork numbers gives me a headache. I saw another case, need to get her name. In your opinion on it, been working with people to leave the bit. Okay, sweetheart, send it to me. Michelle says, right, they were going to be leaving the farm and Gus was supposed to be going to school. Huh, that is interesting. elderly alone. Gosh, every day a new child, elderly person missing, found unalived, sickening. I know, it's hard. Motorbike travels fast, just saying. And you could go like the crow flies with a motorcycle, right? You could beeline it right to it. So something could have happened at the house, let's say with Shannon, and then she contacts Grandma, Josie, and they come cover it up. Because Jessica, the mother, can't know about it, right? Because she's not a suspect. An accomplice would be a suspect. Welcome back, Prime Candy. Missed you. So glad to have you back. Carrie Jakeman said nothing was said that they didn't take the bike with them when they left the house. You're right, you're right. Absolutely. Let me see what else they have on this. Is there anything else? Let me go ahead and switch over to this screen. And let's see if there's anything else in this one. Suspect identified. It's the same. Is it the same, very same article? It is. Like, it's the same article, so only shorter. Let me see if there's anything else. Major crime. They lived at the property, in the home. I got questions. I got a lot of questions. So you guys, when I did the reading last time, very few times, and I'm talking very few times, have I ever picked up on witchcraft. So when I do my readings, I do my soul work, and I'm close with God, truly. And Jesus is my Savior. And so when I pull cards, I don't consider it divination, because I only accept the answers from Jesus himself. That way I am got my light, and my source is clear and clean and trustworthy. I don't talk to the dead, all kinds of stuff. I have my rules. But part of that is also, in order for me to have that close connection where Jesus shares all this with me, I have to walk the walk in my life. There are those that walk a very dark path, and they will do spells that prevent us from maybe seeing clearly and so forth. And I'm going to tell you now, I was picking up witchcraft associated with Gus Lamont's case. And yeah, that threw me back. It threw me back. Now, it doesn't scare me because Jesus is the strongest light and can just, and the demons are gone. But at the same time, there is something there that I don't want to go through. And I'm getting the feeling, and I'm just going to be honest, I'm getting the feeling of like dirt being thrown on top of me as I'm being buried. And I don't think it's alive. I'm just saying the imagery gives me this suffocating feeling. So I want to jump over. I want to see what some of the cards say now. Michelle says, could someone have gotten scared of the change of dynamics coming in the household, gotten fearful of an empty house, would have been just Josie and Shannon once Jessica moved back in with her husband? Good point. Yeah, I didn't forget it, Nina. I was hesitant because I was like, I don't want to touch this, y'all, because I'm picking up like spells of making this disappear and all that. Well, it's not working because, yes, Nina, good over evil. That's right. God will carry Gus through. Gus is innocent and Gus is protected. Aw, thank you, Tammy. God bless you too, lovely. God bless you, Mama D. Light shines around you. Jesus, keep her safe. Amen. Thank you, my love. Thank you. True Crime says, Lepta. oh, a different crime, go ahead and email it to me, lovely. Go ahead and email it to me. I like to stay on one focused subject at a time out of respect for the current victim. Unfortunately, if we have suspects, and obviously that means foul play, I am pretty sure I was right that Gus is no longer with us. So now we have to ask the questions, and they're hard to ask, because do we really, you don't want to know the answer, but you want to know the answer. We want to be able to see Gus laid to rest and returned to his family. Debbie, what they did in the dark will be brought to the light. Amen, sister. That's right. If you have a lead and you'd like to share it with me, you can send that to rubberducky2005@yahoo.com. I don't always get a chance to respond to all my emails because I do get so many, but I do my best to read them all. All right, y'all. What has happened to Gus? What has the suspect done with Gus? Who's the real suspect? Is there somebody that we don't know about that was living at the house? Or is it the grandma, Shannon, that was watching Gus? Or did Grandpa Ma use the dirt bike that's been confiscated, seized, and taken into evidence and is forensically being examined? Did Josie, the Grandpa Ma, leave Jessica, the mother, tell her she had to go set some fencing, and him do something? It took him 3 hours. 3 hours to call for help when the child went missing. No, the mom does not have a boyfriend. The mom is married to a man named Joseph, who is the father of the child. They're in different houses, but they're still married. They just had a little bit of, it's an inheritance issue. Like Josie and Gus, or not Josie, I'm sorry. Jessica, the daughter, and Gus are to inherit this huge monetary property. Now Gus won't be there to inherit. Hi, Grey Wolf Graphics. You said there was a weird one years ago on the internet replay chat, so-called preacher, and she prayed mouth cancer people who didn't believe her. I'm not a psychic, honey. I just interpret the cards. Michelle, my belle, that's what I was wondering. If there was a farmhand living there, could be, and maybe we don't know about it. Someone that helped on the farm with other things. Ooh, arrest made on Nancy's case, allegedly. I've got to check that out, even though I want to make sure. And stay with Gus. I just want to see. Oh, it's just on the imposter demand, because there was a real sounding ransom thing, and then there was a copycat, and they have arrested the imposter is all. Nothing big yet. I'm worried about the other child too, but if the mother and the father are not suspects, and the mother has the baby, then there's no reason to take him away from them. Okay, Michelle says, right, but Ronnie is now to inherit, right? The farm was set up in the trust. I don't have the full details. Jennifer Suez, this is a Jack and Lillian summer all over again. Same mode of operation. True train coming through. I know, we all want to keep our children safe, and then you have grandparents that are like this. I'm just saying, if it's the grandparents. Very clever name. All right, my lovelies. With that being said, I am going to jump over. Now, I invite you to come with me. If pulling cards is not your thing, skip this step, and I will be back with you in the next day or so, very, very soon. And I look forward to covering more cases with you. But if you are continuing on with me, I greatly appreciate it. Either way, thank you for all the hyping, all the liking, and I'm just amazed by all the subs and support outpouring for our community. You guys warm my heart every day. I greatly appreciate you. Say a prayer for little Gus, for the truth to come out, and he deserves the right to be found, and yeah, the truth to be revealed. With that, let's go over, for those that are continuing with me, there'll be about 5 minutes in between to get yourself a drink. A little intermission allows me to switch my cameras, allows me to get ready so that I can pull some cards for you. All right, my loves, with that, I love you to the moon and back. Thank you so very, very much.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think